Hark the herald angels sing.
Wow, Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas time. It's
Yes, it
coming.
is.
It's been everywhere in front of us since the second after Thanksgiving. So here we are, early December, and we have A Christmas Carol, a classic being told at Carnegie Stage. We
Yes,
both
we
saw
do.
this one.
Yes,
it was
we
good
did.
being out with you, yes.
I loved it.
So, your thoughts?
My thoughts. Well, A Christmas Carol has been done so many ways, so many times. There's the musical Christmas Carol. There's the one that's non-musical. There's the one they try to make light and funny, and the Scrooged by Bill Murray.
I love that. That's
That was
my
fun.
favorite
That was
adaptation of it. Yeah.
But this one is the first time I've ever seen a one-man show of A Christmas Carol.
Yes, I love this story. It's a great story, and because it's been, recycled so many times, in some adaptations it kind of loses its teeth. It's a very deep and poignant story, and with some very, very poignant themes. I love
Yes.
it. I love this story, and I think that's why it is so easily adapted, because it is so good.
Yes.
And timeless, of course, which is a word that we throw around a lot. To adapt this for the stage for one performer is a daunting task.
Yes, and especially when you adapt it and you also perform it.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
this adaptation by Mark Kaufman, he was also the one man that performed it.
adapted it. It was
all
adapted
the
by
characters.
Mark Kaufman, as well as Heidi Mueller-Smith, who was the director, and performed by Mark Kaufman. I don't know if it came off as the strongest adaptation of this story. Again, it's a huge undertaking to put this on one actor, no matter how skilled you are as an actor, and Mark Kaufman certainly is. And you can tell that this is a man that loves this story too.
Yes.
So with all the characters and all the depth, I think, again, no matter how well you do it, some of that does get lost when you're carrying it all on your shoulders as one performer. But he's certainly skilled at transitioning through all
one
of those
character,
characters,
yes.
and delightfully so, and very organically, I thought, too.
Yes, I like that very much. You could tell so easily who he was when he was changing from character to character. It was very clear.
And some one-person shows, I think they can get a little hokey when they're changing from character to character. It's sort of like they'll be saying a line here and then no, change here. But he was just so very fluid and honest. I think about the transitions, and that made it really really enjoyable.
And his performance itself, when you think of one person, 90 minutes, all those lines, it was flawless as far as he didn't slip one line
in the
on
manner,
one time. It just flowed almost as though he were just perfect.
No, in the manner in which he carried the show, it really was something to see. And it was, I think, bolstered a bit by some of the sound effects and the video projection. I mean, that really helped tell the story. And hey, when you're one actor and basically you've got your body and your voice, that really kind of helped round it out.
And there were some sounds too, but I really liked the projection by Jesse Cedon.
Mm-hmm.
The church really, I thought, was beautiful. Oh, that actually was the lighting, though, wasn't it? The church windows. I don't think that was a projection. That was the lighting by Madeline Steineck.
Mm-hmm.
And I also enjoyed the lighting and the projection. I felt like it did so much to create not just the mood, but to make you move from place to place, almost like you were in a different place, because it had a different feeling. You knew when you were outdoors, you knew indoors. I like that part of it. And the sound effects I thought were kind of interesting. They added to it that you don't often hear that in a one-man show.
Yeah. And it took a little bit of a different tone towards the end, where Scrooge has his sort of transformation.
Yes.
And Mr. Coffin, among playing all of these characters, also was a narrator at times, to kind of fill in some of the descriptions of what was happening. But the tone very much changed when Scrooge had his had his transformation, and there was a levity and a sense of humor to it, and in a sense, Scrooge almost became that narrator role, which I thought was very effective.
Yes.
You know, it's almost like the having that character of Scrooge kind of do some of the narration really worked and made a lot more sense and gave you a different insight to this. And, you know, I've been thinking about that. I wonder if that would have worked from the beginning. Could you have told this story all from Scrooge's point of view, hearing his internal monologue? I don't know. But in the last like 10, 15 minutes when that happened, that was, you know, probably some of the most enjoyable, lively, and humorous moments
Yes.
of it.
The mood lightened so
yeah.
much at the end. It started out very Dickensian.
Yeah.
You know, in the very beginning, it was like, whoa, this is serious.
Yeah.
But it kind of got a momentum, and by the end, had a feeling of lightness and joy to it.
Yeah. I think if anything, this piece might suffer from the grand expectations set forth by, you know, some of these huge stage productions, you know, that, you know, happen, for example, here in Pittsburgh every year, these grand musical versions of it and everything. So I think you really do need to adjust your expectations a little bit. It's Christmas Carol light, you know, by one very strong performer. And again, I think some parts of the grandness of that story do get lost a little bit in the translation here, but I do feel that if you really love this story, this production is a great treat for the holiday season.
I think so too, specifically because it's so different
Mm-hmm.
than any other adaptation I've seen, and that made it even more interesting. The interesting story, a timeless story, as you said, made it a little more interesting by the different approach to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the characters, again, very clear, the ghosts and things. Have you ever seen a ghost?
I don't think so.
What do you think you would do if you saw one?
It would depend on the circumstance, I think, and who it was. You know.
Oh, if it was Elvis, you'd be thrilled, right?
Of course, I'd be like, "Hey, baby."
So would you go with Elvis if he's like, "Come on, I'm going to show you your past"?
If it was Elvis, absolutely.
You'd go fly around with him.
Marvin Gaye, I'd go with him
So
in a minute.
If you saw, if the ghost of Elvis took you to show you your past, would you be changed having seen your past? Do you think?
I doubt it.
No. You'd be
No,
like,
because-
"Yep, I did that, and I'm proud of it all."
No, it's just I wouldn't be where I am if I today.
You earned this.
I did.